Here at Vagabond Hockey, we aim to profile the unique players and personalities that have made the game what it is today. That's why this video is dedicated to Alexander Mogilny. Mogilny is one of the most impactful players in the game because he was the first player to defect from the Soviet Union to play in the NHL, paving the way for many other Soviet Russian players. What's even more insane than that fact is the actual story of how he defected. It's truly a Steven Spielberg-esque tale. At that time, the world was amidst a Cold War between America and the Soviet Union, which had spilled out into the sports arena. So, stars like Mogilny were a valuable tool for the Soviets. But what made Mogilny such a coveted prize? From an early age, people know Mogilny had something special. As just age 17, he was playing full-time with CSKA Moscow, where he scored 15 goals and 16 points in 28 games in his very first year. He would team up with other Russian greats like Sergei Fedorov and Pavel Bure after being selected to compete in the 1988 World Junior Ice Hockey Championships. That tournament would be Mogilny's coming out party as he finished with 9 goals and 18 points in 7 games, while winning the Top Forward award for the tournament. That would just be the beginning. Mogilny drove home that he was a superstar in the making after winning a gold medal at the 1988 Olympic Games, and the following year winning another gold at the World Junior Championships as the captain of the Soviet squad. His success kept on rolling as he nabbed for himself and the Soviets the first IIHF World Championships in 1989. However, his dream was always to play in the NHL and to compete for the grandest prize in hockey, the Stanley Cup. So he entered the 1988 NHL draft and was selected 89th overall by the Buffalo Sabres. And here's where this story takes a remarkable turn. At the time, Soviet athletes weren't allowed to play in North America, so in order to chase his dream, Mogilny would come up with a plan to defect after the 1989 World Championship. The plan was a simple one. Jerry Meehan, the Sabres GM, and Don Luce, the Sabres Director of Player Development, would come to Stockholm, grab Mogilny and take him with them to a plane and fly home to Buffalo. But there was a slight complication. It seemed as if the Soviets knew what Mogilny was up to. The things that we see in spy movies seem like they're fake, but often real life is stranger than fiction. According to Meehan and Luce, Soviet spies in hats and trench coats were very much real. They felt as if they were being followed the moment they entered Stockholm. Despite knowing the fearsome reputation of the Soviet police, Mogilny and his translator, Sergei Fomitchev, were willing to risk their lives to go to America. The situation was so dangerous that Meehan was even told not to mention Alexander Mogilny's name on the phone, in case the Soviets were listening. So when the day finally arrived, Mogilny and his translator were supposed to meet Meehan Luce at Mogilny's hotel room. But after finding evidence that Mogilny was being followed by Soviet spies, Mogilny managed to change the meeting point to a popular mall in Stockholm. Meehan and Luce were as committed to getting Mogilny as he was to coming to America, so they kept the plan going, despite knowing that their whole operation might be found out at any moment. The point of no return came when Mogilny and his translator ran into Meehan and Luce's car at the mall and took off to a different hotel. That was enough evidence for the Soviets to understand what Mogilny might be planning on doing. No hockey player had defected from Russia before, so Mogilny knew his life was in danger. He had taken the plunge into the unknown and was willing to face whatever consequences came his way. Luce described the whole ordeal as a James Bond flick, as they needed to have hideouts, secret hotel meetings, while having to fight off this eerie sense that around any corner they'd come face to face with a KGB agent. The whole gig would be up. What didn't help these concerns was when, at the Prince Philip Hotel, while Mogilny was in the meeting with the Sabres officials, hotel management was blatantly looking for Mogilny, announcing his name over the intercom and asking people if anyone had seen him. Meehan would later say the following about the situation. The consequences of being discovered by the Swedish authorities or even security on the other side could have been dire. Once the four of them got back on the road, in order to avoid detection, they stuck to countryside roads where they could easily tell if someone was trailing them. And they only stopped if there were no other options, as they felt the sooner they reached the airport, the better. At that point, they all knew they were at a race against the clock because when Mogilny was talking to his family and letting them know where he was and what he was doing, the Soviet government cut the conversation midway. That was the last straw. Mogilny understood what he had just sacrificed in order to chase his dream to play in the NHL. They had to trust their blind luck as they didn't know if the Swedish authorities or Soviet spies would be waiting for them at the airport when they finally turned up. All of them had committed fully and were going down this path together. Luckily for them, they didn't find anyone waiting to get them. The four of them would manage to reach the plane that they had chartered for them, and they quickly boarded and landed in New York the next day. Alexander Mogilny had officially become the first Russian player to defect, and Meehan and Luz had just risked it all to find the next big thing. So they definitely deserved a raise, or at least a well-earned rest after those anxiety-ridden moments. Magic Mogilny made his NHL debut in 1989, and it didn't take long to show his talents as he scored 20 seconds into his NHL career. In the 1992-93 season, Mogilny finished with 76 goals, which tied him for the #1 spot that year with Teemu Selanne. Additionally, he would make 6 NHL All-Star games, lead the league in game-winning goals in 92-93, and win the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy in 2003 for his sportsmanship. Mogilny would finally get his hands on the Stanley Cup in 2000 as a member of the New Jersey Devils. This would be a historic moment as he would become one of the rare few individuals to be the member of the Triple Gold Club, as he won an Olympic gold medal, a World Championship gold medal, and a Stanley Cup. Mogilny retired with 1,032 points on 990 NHL games, as well as 86 points in 124 playoff games. He was the first Russian to be an NHL captain, first Russian named to the NHL All-Star team, and holds the highest single-season goal total and second highest single-season point total for a Russian player. Not to mention, he was a one-of-a-kind player on the ice that the electrified fans, earning him the moniker Magic. While Mogilny was one of the most gifted and most exciting players to ever lace up his skates, his biggest impact was off the ice. He was a trailblazer in the true sense of the word because of everything he sacrificed and endured to get to the NHL, lighting the way for future generations. His courage alone makes his life story inspiring as he showcased unbreakable will to follow his lifelong dream. After he defected, Russia began to ease up and allow other young talents such as Fedorov and Bure to play in the NHL. It's a travesty he's not in the Hall of Fame. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell beside it so you're notified the next time we upload a new video. With that being said, you just watched us break down the harrowing and incredible story of Alexander Mogilny's defection to America and the incredible career that followed afterward. What's your favorite Mogilny memory?